Hey everyone, thanks for jumping on our Plexus Power half hour. Thank you for being so flexible and patient. I know we've gone here, there, and everywhere with times and all the things and Zoom links. I'm glad to see that you guys found my new one. So thank you for jumping on. We will record if you want to share, but anybody that went to convention is coming back on a convention high. We cannot miss this opportunity to just share some of these key things that maybe we had as a takeaway. One, so that you will get yourself registered for Dallas next year. It was announced that convention next year will be in Dallas. So easy drive or easy flight for like most of us, right? And so that's going to be super exciting. So I hope that everybody saw on social media this, FOMO of, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I needed to be at convention. And now I saw all the pictures and the posts and everybody's talking about it. And I definitely think I should be there. So I'm going to tell you all that the deadline is this week, June, but they are going to extend it into July. So for $99, the convention special is you can register. It will include Super Saturday and convention for $99. So I don't even care if you don't know what your schedule is. Just go ahead and register for that because that's unheard of and we've never done that before. So that's going to be amazing. So jump into the app or the Plexus, One Plexus community corporate page so that everybody can get that link and get registered and rock and roll for convention for next year. So this year, the theme was velocity. And I love that each year truly does have a title and a theme that goes with it. And I've been practicing this sentence in my mind because 3 key words that I feel like can be our launching pad for the next 6 months to finish out the year. A whole bunch of people came up to me and said, okay, Sarah, what is your top tip? Like I came to find you. What is your top tip? Overall, I have to say, 13 years in, consistency truly trumps everything. If you are consistent with how you are showing up, whether it's with taking your products, with what you're doing daily for your business, it is so much better to do a few key things consistently over and over and over. How many of you know my favorite book is The Slight Edge, right? Small, simple steps repeated consistently over time produce massive results. It's that compound effect. But I was truly thinking to myself, consistency is great. But what if you were to add intensity for a season to that consistency? And then what if that created the velocity in your business that you are looking for, right? Velocity is speed, which was what the whole theme of this convention was. So consistency is amazing, but if you came home from convention or if you're on this or listening to this and you're like, wait, I have not been hitting my goals, I am ready. What if you added some intensity, right? Maybe you increased your activity. Maybe you increased the number of people you're talking to. Maybe you increased your energy and your intensity with how you show up in your business and share. That is going to produce a velocity, an increased speed in getting you to where you want to be. And that's kind of been the overarching thing for me is those things combined together. And success loves speed. So why not come off this convention with a newfound sense of purpose and motivation and say, what are 2 or 3 things that I can either grab from this call or grab from this week when corporate is going to do a convention activation week, which I absolutely love that. So if you jump onto the ambassador community page, the academy, into the academy, they are going to be having all of the webinars and stuff this week. So I think that's going to be great. But enough for me. I have some other takeaways that I'm going to wait until the end to kind of wrap it up. Karen had so much fun in Vegas. She's going to try to give us like a sentence or 2 of a key takeaway if your voice holds up. But go ahead and unmute yourself, Karen, and see if you can share for us.
It's getting a little better.
Good.
And definitely a couple of the takeaways. One of them, and I've allowed this more than I really am pretty optimistic and try really to keep a positive attitude. But one thing that I heard 2 or 3, numerous times was don't let negativity in your bubble. Don't let negativity come into your thread, into your team, and really just kind of, you know, going to be more aware and kind of nip it in the bud, in a nice way. But just really, because negativity will just pull you down, and I think, a lot of people, tend to focus that way. So that was one. And really, how did I say it? Let me see. I took notes. My handwriting's horrible, so mine's on my phone. Loving your rank wherever you are, no matter how long you've been there. That was a biggie, because some of us have been at their rank or trying to re-rank their rank for a long time, and just really focusing on what is it I need to learn at this rank so that I will be better at further ranks down the road. I think that's a biggie, and not ever saying I'm just a. So I think that was really, that's
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much. How many conventions have you been to, Karen? Do you remember?
8. This is my 8th. I haven't missed one.
Perfect. Do you really feel like convention? What are some of the like key benefits? Like, hey,
It's a non-negotiable. If you are doing this business, you have to be at convention. If you don't do anything else for your business the whole year, you have to be at convention. And I have not had a great couple of years. I was not in a good frame of mind, but there's no doubt I have to be there. And I'm so glad I was, because it just reminds you of what is possible, never giving up, just pushing forward. It's really, yeah, there's no excuses. And I have missed kids' things. I have really had to bend over backwards to make it. But, I told my team, if you're in the business and wanting it, then you have to be at convention, if at all possible.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Thank you, Karen. I think one of the other things I want to kind of piggyback onto that is the fact that negativity, the first thing that you said, is definitely something that we have, like, can be outwardly. But when the Iron Cowboy gave his talk, which I thought was one of the best talks I've ever heard in my entire life, he said, you can't listen to the bully in your head. And how many of us, right, have bullies in our head that are showing up saying, you can't do that. You can't be on stage. You can't have the success that other people are talking about right now, right? How many of us have been there? I've been there. I know for sure I've been there. So thank you for sharing that, because I think that's a really good reminder, for sure. Awesome. Thank you, Karen. Okay, Jill, are you good to go? I'm gonna let you unmute yourself and rock and roll.
Yep, I'm good to go.
Okay.
So yeah, speaking of the whole Iron Cowboy thing, you guys, we've heard multiple times that it's mindset is everything. But the more I go to convention, the more I hear, it's for real, right? The Iron Cowboy, his thing was he did 100 Ironmans in 100 days. Like, why he set that goal is totally beyond me. I kept thinking, wait, your wife is going to push you when you want to quit? How about I would be like, okay, honey, you're right. You made a stupid goal. Like, who does 100 Ironmans in 100 days? Anyway, but his whole thing was right mindset, right? That's mental toughness, and just to keep going when you feel like you're going to quit. And one of the things he said is quitters never win and winners never quit. Let that sink in a little bit, right? The people that are the rank that you want to be, or that are, that are up there, the jewels that, even there, and there's jewels that have a lot of stuff in their head too. Just to throw that out there, you guys, I have a lot of friends that have ranked whatever rank, emerald, whatever above, and then they haven't re-ranked that, but they still get to go up on stage, and then they feel like imposters, like they shouldn't be there, right? And so mindset is pretty much everything. One of the things that really hit me was Jessica Heffley shared about the 10x life. There's a book. What's the name of the book, Sarah? I don't know. It's something
10x is easier than 2x.
Okay, that's the book. So I'm going to try and get that on Audible, but I feel like, and what she started out with in the first, she said, okay, I want everyone to write down, what is your goal of your points? Like, what do you want? What is your dream? What is your dream of how many points you want to have? Right. And everyone write that down. So I encourage all you guys right now, write down, what is your goal? Like, whatever that happens to be. Okay. And so I wrote down, I was like, how about 2000? Like, that would be safely into emerald. Like, that's a good goal for right now. If I make my goal too high, then I don't know, I will talk myself out of it. So I said 2000, and she was okay. Now cross that out, multiply it by 10. And now that's your goal. And I'm like, what? Like 20,000? What are you even talking about? But she said, if you look at your goal that's 10x, you're going to show up different. Like it kind of scares you. It has to kind of scare you. And then you think, what am I going to have to do? And who is the 10x Jill? Like, what does that look? Who do I look like? Right. And that's going to be so much different because the 2x, if you just go the 2x, it's almost like you're doing the same things, but you're doing them more. You're doing them harder. You're doing them longer. Like it's the same things you're doing, but a little bit more. But 10x, it blows all those things out of the water, and you have to be like, whoa, hold on. What does the 10x Jill look like? I mean, it's probably the one that doesn't listen to my fears, that doesn't listen to the things that are holding me back, the one that does the things that I don't want to do. It's the one that has probably an organized household that's running smoothly. It doesn't have to be, but those things that you know that you need to do, it's probably someone that shows up with consistency. And I also was thinking, okay, the people that are up on stage, not that everyone is totally in shape and totally fit, but you guys think about discipline. Discipline can spills out everywhere, right? And it seemed like, oh my gosh, a lot of the people that were up speaking on stage, they were fit. I mean, look at Christina Williams. Sarah, look how great you've been doing the last, couple years, right? I mean, like it's being consistent at like everything, not just your IPA, right? It's like it spills over into everything. And so I think that is one of the things that really hit me was a 10x life, and just kind of leaning into that more and being like, okay, what even is that, and how am I going to change with that? I've been with Plexus for 8 years, and this would have been my 8th convention, I guess, besides the whole COVID. I don't know if you count that one, but and I would encourage you guys. There was someone I ran into that I sat next to at dinner once, and she's been with Plexus for 9 years, and this was her first convention she's ever been to. And I was like, what are you thinking? Like, it's your first one in 9 years? And she is in 9 years, I think she's gold or senior gold. And I'm like, what if you would have come? I mean, it's, they always say leaders are made at events. You guys, if you really want this as a business, if you want to impact more people, if you want God to use you in a huge way, it's kind of you're doing yourself a disservice by not showing up to convention, because it's like a pep rally, like Sarah said, to keep you kind of going on, for a while, right, until it kind of fades in a couple months. But yeah, I would encourage you guys totally to be there.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Jill. Okay, so this is the book, and here's what I'm going to tell you guys. This is actually a follow-up to The Gap and the Gain that I've been talking about. So I see you guys talking in the chat about the book, The Gap and the Gain, both by the same authors. And so this really addresses, how do I view my journey? So I'd love for you to put in the chat if you have been in Plexus longer than 5 years. Right? You guys frozen now. Hold on. Right. Can you guys see me? I know I froze. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is complaining at me. Okay, so the longer than 5 years, sometimes that bully in your head starts showing up. And it's like, I'm not where I wanted to be. I'm not as far as I should be. I got to where I wanted to be, and now I'm not there still. And that gap versus gain of, how am I viewing this journey? Am I viewing it through everything that I've learned and the experience that I've grown through and what I can now take forward? Or am I viewing this as a gap, and I continue to look at this unattainable goal that I haven't reached yet? And then the bully in your head shows up, and you start feeling less than, and like, wait a second. And that mindset shift is key. This, like Jill said, if you start setting goals that are bigger than your brain even lets you say are doable, things in your life have to change. Sometimes we show up comfortably, because if we set that next little teeny baby goal, then we won't feel like a failure if we don't make it, right? But the point of this book is, sometimes when you make those 10x goals, you realize, I'm not doing enough Zoom calls. I'm not doing enough in-person meetings. Like the 80% of the noise in your life, you kind of have to get rid of, because you're like, wow, I really have to get focused on what I want, why I want it, and how I'm going to achieve it. So I know Jessica did a great job. I've done some some coaching with her on that 10X concept. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. But I will tell you, it was a difficult book for me to read because it is so out of the box with what you're thinking and the feelings that it brought up for me was like, oh, I guess I do like being comfortable. So just a warning there, like it is to get you next level. Okay, so like I said, I've got 2 notebooks full of stuff that I could share, but I am going to open it up. I had Jill and Karen definitely tagged for sharing this morning. Is there anybody else who is at convention who just has like a key takeaway, maybe something that you learned that you had never learned before, or something that you felt like, okay, this is going to be something that is going to change my business? Or just the closing party was Barbie themed and you didn't think it was going to be amazing. It was the best party ever. Because that's what all 3 of my boys would tell you.
Sarah, can I talk for just a second?
Absolutely. Go for it, Stephanie.
Okay, so I think if I just take a really big step back and I just look at the entire week, I feel like people must have been talking to corporate and telling them everybody's kind of weary. We're all a little bit tired. Our souls are just needing some rejuvenation, because I had to tell Alec and Tarl the only thing I would change next year is throw in a bag of tissues in our bags, like literally a little package of tissues, because I use toilet paper. I had red lines on my eyes because I was drying my eyes 1,000 times. I don't know, the floodgates opened. And I just really felt like it was very cathartic this week. Like everybody just needed some soul care. And the speakers, everybody that just breathes life into us, just was giving us that nourishment that I think we all needed. That's what I took away. That was my biggest takeaway. And when the Iron Cowboy said, when you think you can't go on, that's when you lean on your team. So I really took that in and just thought, yeah, when there are certain areas in our lives that we just don't think we can go on, that's when we have to reach out to the people around us. So yeah, loved this week.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So good. I 100% agree. And then I will tell you guys, okay, I had never heard of the Iron Cowboy. And so he has a new documentary on the Amazon Prime Video. I don't know the exact name of it. Maybe is the Iron Cowboy. He got that nickname from the races that he does with a cowboy hat. But when he talked about he got hit by a car and he got up and kept going, he's passing out and he got up and kept going and would keep running until he passed out again. And then his team would bring him back too, and he would keep going. I'm like, for the love of all things good, like nobody in their right mind would keep going. And he kept going, the swollen legs, all of it. And then when he talked about how he did the one Iron Man with the little boy with cerebral palsy, and the bike rack broke, and the part of the race that was supposed to take him 4 hours, and it took him 9 hours, 5 hours longer, and he was going to get disqualified. And he picked up his pace. He's like, I am finishing. And I know we don't always want to like compare ourselves, but for the simple fact of people knowing and understanding that we can do hard things and we can push ourselves way further than picking up the phone and calling and saying, hey, I know I've never shared this with you before, but would you like to take a look at what I do? I'd love for you to do it with me. Like that, as far as like grand scale of scary and hard, that shouldn't be. And yet here I am, like with my business ask written on a piece of paper, and so I can like pump myself up for that next phone call, right? So y'all go find his documentary. It's interesting. My dad read his book and said that his book isn't as good because when you hear him speak, you can hear that emotion and you can hear everything that he went through. I do have a link. One of the diamonds that was way up front in the Star Diamond section was able to record his talk. So I will get you guys that link. So if you missed it or you want to watch it again, you will have access to that. So I will put it in our Power Hour chat. Okay, last call for it. We have time for one more person to share, and then I want to give you guys some practical tips and takeaways for how we are going to use this momentum coming off of convention to increase the velocity in our businesses. Anyone else?
Can I say something?
Absolutely, Vanessa.
Okay, there were a couple top tips at the end of one of the panels. Each person, Demi Shaw, Marissa McMillan, and Emily Haas, their top tips. One said, never quit on a bad day. One said, go all in, be determined, remove your out, which caught my heart because I do have a really good paying job to fall back on. And I think that is the thing that really is hindering me from going. Gosh, I even have my work bubble behind me. Anyway, and the last one was, it doesn't matter your today's rank, show up as a diamond. And yeah, I can honestly say I show up like a part-time hobbyist who may or may not want to make something. So those three, I mean, there's tons of notes, but those three things really touched my heart because now I really do need to decide what all in looks like for me and my family, and start acting like what I want to be. So
Love it. Love it. I had the blessing and opportunity to sit next to Vanessa this week. And I think it was a physical, it hit you like a ton of, I mean, like you literally, you shifted in your chair like, oh, dang. But some of those, we all are going to come away, but wherever we are in our businesses, we're all going to come away with something different based on where we are and what we needed to hear. And I think that's something that's so incredible about what this week was, because there was this balance of the pleximonies and the keynote speakers and the breakouts and the panels. Like, corporate did a brilliant job, and I need to definitely get that feedback to the right people, because in my opinion, just when you started to shift in your seat, you had somebody come out in the most gorgeous chartreuse dress. I forget that gal's, I think she was Spanish, but dressed to give like a pleximony that just hits you in the heart. And then you've got some training and you've got all the things. So I think it was a 1, 2, 3 punch of what you needed to hear, where you were, and we all walked away with something incredible. So Vanessa, thank you so much for sharing that, because I'm with you. Like, I have pages and pages and pages, and we could probably build off of this for, every power hour for the next, to finish out the year. But I do want to give you guys some practical tips and things that I think are going to be really, really important if you are ready to hit the ground running with all of the things. So the first thing is, we have some things to plug into. Okay, so we launched Sweet Tea Slim. It's permanent. It's HC and microbiome. I'm so excited, I can't stand it. I mean, I think giving our customers in the field and our prospects an additional flavor profile of our signature drink is brilliant. And I think this sweet tea flavor is something that is going to hit the market with the men, the young people, all the things. Like, I think it's really going to do a brilliant job of filling those gaps of people, yes, who maybe had, questions or concerns about, I don't love the other things. So I'm super excited about that. Restore being launched as a standalone product. I am not a green nerdy personality. However, I was in one of the trials. There were multiple trials that went on over the last few months. And I will tell you, on my survey that I had to fill out, I was like, I don't care what my physical results are, were, needed to be, whatever. The fact that I felt amazing, was not hungry, and knew that my body was experiencing detox that it needed, I don't care. Like, if you give somebody that information, hey, are you looking for a detox? Detox is such a hot topic right now. And so many people are looking for other ways, right, to feel their best. I want you guys to pay attention. The combos that were launched for a reason. There were, I believe, don't quote me, please do not quote me, although I'm being recorded. I believe there were 3 trials. I was in the trial where we did Restore twice a day. So I drank it right when I woke up. Usually, I wake up and do hydrate. So I would wake up and do my hydrate and Restore. And then I did it at bedtime. So I was and I am telling you, my emotionally eating brain was like, come on, we can eat. It's okay. And my body was like, you're not hungry. It's okay. Like, it was really fascinating to me. So it curbed my appetite. Like, I was not hungry by like day 3 or 4. There is the group that did the Restore, Ease, and Bio Cleanse, which is the Ultimate Detox Combo, which is one of those combos that just launched. And then I believe there was also a group that did Slim, Restore, and Greens. And I'm hearing really good things about that as well. So the Ray-Ban incentive that was launched for new VIPs with a combo of 125 PV or more. And that is just to finish this month strong. If you already have that, they're, backdating it and giving you the Ray-Bans. But those new combos with Restore or adding Sweet Tea Slim, they're going to get you to 125 PV. Again, don't quote me. I haven't double checked all of those things, but get really familiar, you guys. They're doing a great job of loading information into the Plexus Go app so that we have what we need at our fingertips. The convention, the breakouts, all the things. So new products are exciting. New incentive, super exciting. I will say this though, forever and ever, amen. If you only ran with our comp plan and we never had another iPad, Apple Watch, blah, 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 all the things, we are in the best company with the best products, doing the best things, and our compensation plan is second to none. So I want you to just remember that we don't need all of these extras. All of these extras do help get some attention from people who are like, I don't know if I want to do that right now or not. Okay, so that's that. Leaders Retreat was launched. It's going to be next February. It's going to be a cruise out of Fort Lauderdale to Key West and the Bahamas. Anything that you're doing right now is going to count for retention credits when the contest starts in September. June, July, and August will be key. You don't have to say, well, I don't really want to add people until I get to September, because everybody that you're adding, those retention credits are going to be adding up for September when it starts. So you will want to look forward to, we're all tired of winter in February. Who doesn't want to jump on a cruise to the Bahamas paid for by your company? If you are seeing the information and details about the 7-night Alaskan cruise, that is going to be Emerald Extravaganza and Diamond Destination. So every year we've either gone to Hawaii or Mexico, and they are changing it up this year. You have 11 months, no matter what your points are right now. You can have 5 points right now. In 11 months, if you hit 1,500 points, you are going to earn that Emerald Extravaganza. So we can definitely talk more about that. The biggest thing that I wanted to tell you guys is, and this is from Justin and Megan Goff, who are both diamonds and are exploding in their business, and they have a new level 1 diamond, Angie Ambrosetti. You guys go follow Angie and her daughter-in-law, Madison. They are doing big, amazing, wonderful things. Angie just ranked. She went up for the sapphires and then she went up for the diamonds because she hit 2 huge ranks within a few months. I'll post her name. I think it's Ambrosetti, but don't ask me how to spell it. So they had something that was super key. So we need to tell everybody what they have when they come to Plexus. You get your referral link, you can share all the things. But then I also want you guys to remember that asking people to share, it doesn't have to be scary. And if they say, no, thanks, I don't want to share, that's fine. But Justin and Megan have come up with a system where they ask their people to share 3 times, and it never changes. When somebody joins, ask them to, do that quick. Hey, I didn't know what I needed, but thanks so much for Megan for introducing me. I'm so excited. I'm getting ready to start, my journey or whatever. 2, when their products arrive, whether it's a pink drink, here we go, day 1, whatever it is. 3rd one, when they start getting results. And when I say results, it's not when they lose 50 pounds. It's when they sleep better, they have more energy, they drink, an active and had, felt great that day. Like whenever they experience something, those 3 times, and asking somebody to post those 3 times will increase your chances of somebody saying, hey, what are you doing? I might want to do it with you, and then helping them go silver. If I had to say, I've asked all of my level 1s to post these 3 times, I would say I get a big fat F. I failed on that. So looking ahead now, who do you have as your level 1s, whether they're new or not? Have they done a post? Have they shared? Have they tagged you? Have they shared what the products are doing for them? Helping and encouraging somebody to do that. It's very rare that somebody's gonna order, join, jump on, post a picture with their welcome pack, and rock and roll on their own without a little loving nudge. Now, if they say no, thank you, awesome. Just love them through the experience of getting on their products and whatever that looks like. And then a gentle nudge. And hey, you're 3 weeks in and I've noticed, your inflammation is down. You're feeling amazing. I can tell even when you message me that you're more excited about life. What are your thoughts about making a quick post? I can help you. And then you can, So I love that they said they asked everyone to share. And then this one was so basic. Let me see. Let me add one more page. I think this was Jill Renfro. She was like, talk to people about Plexus. Follow up with people about Plexus. Help other people do that. And then she said, consistency brings results. And it really is this easy. I mean, obviously, it's not, but I'm going to challenge you guys today. How many people are you talking to? What is your goal? What rank are you now? And what rank do you want to be at convention next year? What are your activities driving towards? Are you using your business ask? Hey, you may or may not know what I do, but I help women feel their best while creating options. And that was a huge one. Several people said that. There's not very many people when you say, hey, you want to make $10,000 a month? They're going to be like, yeah, right. Like whatever. But if you can introduce the opportunity for somebody to have options in their life, that sounds really, really good. Would you be open to coffee or maybe a chat to see if this might be a good fit for you? Like, that's not scary. But I'm not asking that question to enough people. So as we're getting ready, to, come off this momentum, increase our velocity, all the things, who are you talking to? What are you saying? Angie Ambrosetti spoke at our diamond meeting after convention was over. The next morning, we always have Friday morning, we had a diamond meeting and she spoke. She's like, I do regular Tuesday meetings every week. I rent out a room. I show up. I have some balloons. She said the first 3 months she sat there by herself and nobody came. And then somebody came and then 3 people came and then 5 people came. And now they're renting out hotel, meeting spaces to fill all of the people. And she just kept showing up and kept asking people, hey, would you like to take a look at what I'm doing? And it created massive momentum in her business. One of her tips, how many people have been to Gold School as a new gold? Anybody on here? Very good. Awesome. Okay. How many people have been to Gold School because you have developed a new level 1 gold? Very good. Awesome job, Kim. How many people have been to every single Gold School because it is your system to continuously develop new gold legs to grow your business? And that's what Angie was like. I've been to 4 or 5, however many Gold Schools there have been. She has been there with a new level 1 gold leader every time. What if we shifted that as one of our 10X goals, that you want to show up to every single Gold School with at least 1, if not 2 or 3 new gold leaders? What? Like, it's mind blowing. And Gold School is incredible. And you get to go with grab 3 or 5 of your best friends, grab 3 or 5 of your family members. I mean, she's doing all these trips with her daughter-in-law. She gets to travel for free with Plexus events, right? With family. So put that on your radar. Maybe if Emerald Extravaganza feels really, really hard or really, really far away, how many Gold Schools can you get to? And I think the next 2 are like Atlanta and Dallas. So easy to get to. Don't quote me on that either. But I haven't been to Gold School recently with a new level 1 gold, right? Leg. So that's something that you can definitely look. In the app, Genevieve has loaded a system that's maybe been there for a while, and it's something about the Get 4. So her philosophy on building a strong, stable business is finding 4 people who can find 4 customers. 4 people who want to join either for the business on some level or are open to sharing, who can all go out and find 4 VIP customers. And if we can build our business 4 by 4, looking for 4 people who are willing to share and get their 4, that will start branching out into the most gorgeous starburst of a strong, stable, growing team. So your homework is to get into your app and look at all of the resources from the breakouts. Christina Williams and Brittany Howard have given us their entire team system. They loaded it into the app. I think it's under convention business tools or something like that. Let me look, Karen. So get friendly with all of that, because this is where you've got your business at your fingertips. And honestly, for that system, so that was in the developing to Jewel breakout session that Christina and Brittany launched that and told everybody that they would have access to that. Let me find the 444. Wow, they've all the Monday motivation replays are here. Like, just get to know your app and make sure that you're telling all of your people about the app.
I think it's called Confident Conversations. They've got one for customers and one for business.
Okay. Go for Gold, FOUR. Under sales training and replay is where she launched the concept of getting 4. So the sales training replays, they're loading all those there, but then there's a velocity convention with the breakouts, recognition, product announcements, convention, all the things. So do that. But then I want you guys to be thinking about the Ray-Ban incentive, and not just, can I go out and sell 4 new combos, but who on your team can you say, hey, I know you were interested in XYZ. I would love to help you earn this incentive. Let's start making a plan. And who can your 4 be? And that can really be something that can get the needle moving again with people who are coming off of convention, who maybe haven't shared, who want to start sharing again, all of the things to plug into that incentive. Get really familiar with Restore and why everybody needs it. I love launching a product that everybody can benefit from. So if they don't like the flavor, I do need to ask Dr. Hartman, but I've mixed it with Slim before. It's amazing. I've mixed it with Hydrate before. It's amazing. The lemon berry, I didn't mind. I drank it by itself for the trial. And it was fine. But how many people take lots of other things that don't taste good, just for the benefits? Awesome. Thank you, Karen. Dr. Hartman said we can mix it. So no excuses at all. So thank you guys so much for jumping on. We went a little bit over. Our link had expired for our recurring. So I will get a new recurring with a graphic, all the things, so that we can keep showing up. And I know we shifted a little bit to this 9:30 to 10 because my corporate call. And so moving into seeing if that's going to stay where it is, I will give you guys all of that information. But thank you for jumping on. Invite whoever you would like to. This is open to anyone to get to work. But please don't let today go by without setting your goals. Where am I going to be at the end of this month? And where am I going to finish for July? Because July 31st is that huge Emerald deadline. And then what am I going to be on stage next year? If that feels like a 10x goal to you, what things need to change? What am I doing that's working? Keep doing more. Increase the intensity of that. What am I doing that's not working? I'm going to set that to the side and try something different. For me personally, I built my business to diamond with Monday night meetings, in-person opportunity meetings every single week. People knew where to find me. And when COVID hit, we stopped. And here we are in the middle of 2024. And I have yet to have another in-person meeting. And it just really hit me, like when Angie said, yep, this is how we're doing it. Every Tuesday, they know where to find me. I'm going to be there whether, she said, if nobody shows up, I just sit there and work on my own business. And I love that. Like, she didn't say, well, if nobody shows up, it's a failure. She said, I've already got this time blocked. I'm going to sit here and send messages. So maybe you need to have some Zooms. Maybe you need to have some in-person meetings. Maybe you need to invite somebody to coffee and say, listen, I've never brought this up, but I would love for you to do this with me because we could go cruising together. All of those things, make an action plan, get to work, get Christina and Brittany's system, look through there and say, what am I doing well? Do more. What am I not doing? Wow, I can start adopting this one thing to start moving the needle forward in my business. So remember, consistency is amazing. Partnered with intensity, you can increase your velocity and we will all get to where we want to be. So awesome. Thank you guys for jumping on. I would love to hear more shout outs, takeaways, celebrations, all the things, and I'll post the recording for you guys in our chat. Have a good one.